Just going to try to do a quick video explaining my VCM-600 setup. Tracks 1 through 4 all have the same settings. They all control the volume of each channel, the play, filter, stop, EQ. The mute button turns the filter on or off. The Send A allows you to scroll through your track in large increments. Send B in small increments. So if you're playing and you just are off by if you're off by a clap or something, you use Send B to sort of nudge it. The pan button for each channel controls the loop length. Tempo nudge button controls the nudge for whatever you set your loop length to. So if you have this button here, track selected, this chooses each track, by the way. So if you hit track and you hit tempo nudge, I have it set to 8 right now. It will nudge ahead 8. Or back. Cool. So now that I have track selected, these 8 buttons here control whatever track you have selected. These are the cue points for here, right here, 1 through 8. So that goes to 1. Say I want to make another cue point at the break. Make another cue point here. These top 4 buttons here, these are your gains. This one here, return A, is your headphone volume. This is your mix of your headphone volume. These 2 buttons here are snap and quantize. B is your shift. I'm sorry. This button here, I have it labeled as B on my controller with a sticker, but this is your shift. If you hit this first button here, it allows you to choose your playlist. Channels 5 and 6 are your effects. Channel 5 is all the effects on the leftmost deck, so A and C. Channel 6 is B and D. I'm not the first person to have made a VCM-600 mapping, and I got my start basically from another VCM-600 mapping, and I altered it to my liking, and I'm really happy with it. I play out with it myself. So this is one of the things that I changed that I thought was really cool. The channel faders for 5 and 6, choose your effect. If you import my TSI, that is the effects I have selected, so feel free to add the ones you use back, but these are the ones that I tend to play with. So all the way down is off, all the way up is reverb. Right at the very bottom are some delays, and then a couple of the other different effects are in the middle, but I know that I can always get a reverb if I crank it up there and hit play to engage the effect, and this is the wet dry. Like that a lot. These 3 knobs control the parameters for each of the single effects, so at all times you can the top button, let's go back to a reverb so you can hear. The top one is the send for that. Turns it on or off, I should say. The second button, this corresponds to the multi set of effects here. Each one of these in channels 5 and 6, these are effect channels, turns each of the multi-effects on or off. The pan is a wet dry. I have it set so the first knob high is a gator. Second one's a reverb. The third one is a delay. So here's where this mapping really becomes cool. I really wanted to use turntables, or one turntable. So I figured out a way to use one turntable and control all 4 decks and still be able to work in internal mode. So I'm just going to go ahead and grab a scratch record to demonstrate. Here's a scratch record. I'll load it to deck 2 by hitting clip. So that loads it. Track selects it. These are my cue points here. In fact, let's get one with more cue points. So here's the deal. These 4 buttons right here correspond to scratch control for each of the 4 decks. 1, 2, 3, 4, A, B, C, D. So if I want to scratch or use turntable control with deck 2, I'd hit this.
Go!
And it actually works pretty good. I'm not sure what I have my latency set to, but it seems to be pretty adequate for performing live. So like I said, I have the gator. So if you're using the gator, so let's say we have this track going, and we don't want the gator to be on. I guess this would be a better example here. So we're on track. Let's just jump ahead here. I'm on track 4. Let's get that off. So normally, if all the buttons are lit up, if you want to turn it off, it's the middle one. Scratching very good. So you get the idea. Of course, you can turn the noise off there. But basically that's it. So channels 5 and 6 are your effects groups. Top one's gator, the second one reverb, the third one is delay. These 4 buttons are your relative turntable control. Since I only have 1 input selected, I can only have 1, which works out really good. So typically I'll mix a record in and use the turntable, and then hit play or go to another deck, because I like to have more than 2 going most times. So I'd say that about does